burned out or overwhelmed. I sat back down and I stared at the screen. I had plenty to do, too much in fact. I was painfully aware that I couldn't get everything done in the time frames that I wanted to get it done in. Well, that should have been good motivation to get busy and to get done what I could. However, that wasn't the case this day. What I realized was that I had become overwhelmed with the work that needed to be done, and I was dangerously close to pushing myself into burnout, at least if I wasn't careful. I was overwhelmed. We've all experienced those times in our commitments, both internal and external, and they've outstripped our resources. We're juggling. In fact, in that fleeting moment when we know we're going to drop balls, it just hasn't happened yet. This happens to everyone. That time when we've just not let go yet. One of the natural outcomes of being overwhelmed is to stop, like a deer in headlights. We don't want to do anything. We can't move from where we are. It's breaking free of doing nothing that can be the hardest part and the most essential to escaping both being overwhelmed and the potential burnout it can spawn. Deciding what to drop. The first step is figuring out what to let go of. Here are 4 strategies to release the pressure and stop being overwhelmed. Number 1, do less. Buy a greeting card for a friend rather than making a custom one. Number 2, do it later. Move back the deadline that you've got to get something accomplished. The project that you wanted to get this month can probably wait until next. Number 3, delegate. Get some help. Get someone else to help get it done. Maybe they won't be able to do as good a job at it, but you just can't get it done now. Number 4, drop it. Decide that you can't do it now or in the foreseeable future. Even if it's something that you want to do, realize you just can't. It's not easy to decide what to let go of, but until you do, you may be stuck staring at your screen and asking, what is next? What is the next best thing? With the relief that you released one of the things on your plate, you're often not out of the woods yet. Instead, you've got a brief reprieve so that you can move forward on the next best thing. With a bit of breathing room, you can decide what you want to work on next. What thing can you accomplish and get off your plate so you don't have to worry about it any longer, even if it's not the biggest thing? If you've committed to doing it, it doesn't matter. If it's the biggest, it's the hardest, or even the most important thing that you must do, just getting it off your plate, it just needs to be accomplished. Once you've got that thing accomplished, you can move on to the next best thing to accomplish. You can move on to something else and get it done so that you can feel like you're effective and you're accomplishing things. And what does this mean to burnout? The feelings of inefficacy are at the core of burnout. It's generally accepted that the criteria are exhaustion, cynicism, and inefficacy, but the feeling of inefficacy drives burnout. We're only cynical about those things that we're ineffective at changing, and we've all been elated and exhausted at the same time. That's why it's critical to approach being overwhelmed head on. We've got to remove the pressure that's preventing us from doing anything, and then work on those things that help us to know we are effective so that burnout doesn't set in as a result of the temporary state of being overwhelmed. It's just being overwhelmed until we let it stop us from being effective and drag us into burnout.